Today we're going to be showing you a Massaman curry of beef using some beautiful Great Aussie beef. It's a cheap cut, it's tasty, it's got a little bit of lean fat, and it's going to make a delicious curry that you can store in the freezer, and you've got a quick, easy, tasty meal on hand. Alright, so we're just going to season our beef up with a little bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of grapeseed oil, give that a little massage. Get all that seasoning and oil nicely coating the beef, straight into a pretty hot pan. So what we're looking to do here is get a nice seal on the beef, good bit of flavour. That seals in all the moisture, and then when we're slow cooking it in our curry, you're going to have all of that flavour locked in. Alright, so while we've got our beef sealing away there, we'll just get some of the rest of the ingredients ready. We've got some kifla potatoes here. We're just going to cut them into fairly chunky slices. We've got some green beans. A lot of people take the tops and the tails off their beans. You just need to take the tops off. The tail is beautiful. We're just going to cut them in half. And we've got some onions here. So little shallots or silver skin onions. Beautiful sweet flavour. Take the top and the tail off. Just run your knife through the skin and then peel them back. Okay, so we'll just get a little bit of onion going on to start our curry sauce. So a bit of oil in the pan. You want the pan on a fairly low heat. Onion cut nice and small, garlic sliced, and that's going to go with a little bit of salt into the pan. All good recipes start with some beautifully cooked onion. And when we start that off, a good tip is to just cover it up so that we get a nice even heat through the pan and through the onion. Once we've got our onion to this beautiful jammy stage here, you really can't overdo this. This is the flavour that starts every great sauce. Alright, so we've got that beef seal, beautiful seal on it, good colour, good flavour. We're going to put that in with our onions and our garlic. And then we're going to make our sauce for braising that beef. Coconut milk and our beef stock. And then if you've got a slow cooker, that's an ideal option here. We're going to go in the oven. And this beef will take about an hour and a half to 2 hours to cook out at a temperature of about 150 centigrade. We're going to cover that over. Cover it nice and tightly because you want to seal all that moisture in there. And we'll pop that in the oven. So this has been about 2 hours in the oven. That beef chuck's beautifully tender. All that flavour's come out into the sauce there. And we're now ready to finish off this dish. So we're going to throw a little bit of oil into our pan there. Get it nice and hot. And those onions that we had earlier, they're going to go in. And that potato that we cut up, that's going to go in. So all we're doing here is just adding to the richness of the dish. This is one of the richest curries in Thai cuisine. So we're just going to fry this off a little bit, and it's going to add to that layer of flavour with the beef and the coconut, and then we'll show you how we get our curry paste going. So in a bowl here, I'm just going to mix that curry paste. Again, we're making more than we're going to eat for one meal here, but this is a dish that is going to freeze down beautifully. Vegetables, meat, everything's there. All you'll need to do is cook your rice at a future date, and you've got an easy meal on hand. We're going to mix that with a little bit of peanut butter. This peanut butter is, it's just peanuts. That's why I use this one. All of the other ones, they've got salt, they might have some preservatives in there, but this stuff is beautiful. It's just peanuts, blitzed up, and that's what we want. So we'll mix that through with our curry paste. So we're going to put those onions into our dish with the beef there, and using that same pan, and there's enough oil in there, we're going to put our curry paste in just to cook that out. Now, a common mistake people use when they're cooking at home is to use olive oil for everything. I see this all the time. Olive oil is an amazing oil. It's very healthy. It's got great flavour. But it's also quite expensive, and actually at high temperatures it loses all of those health benefits and it develops a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of a burnt flavour. So what we're using is rice bran. Grapeseed's another good option. Cottonseed is you know, the standard vegetable oil, but I prefer rice bran or grapeseed. You could use coconut oil here. So we're just going to fry that out a little bit. Then we're going to add a little bit of palm sugar. And how much you add is really up to you. If you're someone who has a little bit of a sweet tooth, like your curries to be nice and sweet, then I would be adding a little more palm sugar. I've added there about a tablespoon. Personally, I like a bit of balance, a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of sourness in my curry. We're going to add some more chilli. Again, that's up to you. I like chilli, so I'm never happy with the amount of chilli in those curry pastes. And you can see that's starting to caramelise now with that sugar. We can smell all those beautiful flavours coming out. We're going to add 2 kaffir lime leaves and 1 bay leaf. Again, if you can add a little bit of fresh herb into those curry pastes, it really just brings them alive again, gives them that vibrancy and gives them that life. So we can see that caramelisation there starting to just catch a little bit on the bottom of the pan. And we're ready now to add in all of that beef and that sauce, potatoes and onions. And we're just going to let that simmer away. Essentially all we're doing is bringing the flavours together, letting the potato and the onion cook out. All right, so those potatoes and onions are cooked out now. You can see that caramelisation and flavour in the sauce. Beautiful watching it change as you're cooking, layering in different flavours. We're going to throw in these green beans and cook them as much as you like. I personally like a bit of crunch in my green beans, so I'm just going to cook them for a couple of minutes. If you like them fully cooked, then keep going for longer. So we're going to add a little bit of tamarind. Tamarind's a fairly sour flavour, and it adds a nice balance to all that sweetness and richness we've got with the beef and the peanuts. So I've added about 2 tablespoons worth into there. And again, with these finishing flavours, it really is up to you how much you put in. Keep tasting and keep adding as you like. Now the secret ingredient with Massaman curry, pineapple. Strange but true. So we're just going to add the juice. If you like to add the pineapple chunks, you can add those as well. I'm going to save those for dessert. So that pineapple just really brings everything together nicely. Before we serve it, we're going to add a little bit of coriander stalk. I'm a big fan of using the stalks of herbs where possible. They've got great flavour, a little bit more robust flavour than the leaves. Just be careful when you get down to the end of coriander, it can be a little bit dirty, so give it a nice wash if it's got any dirt in there. Put our rice in the bowl. So this is slightly sticky, this rice, exactly how we want it to be. If you want a really rich treat, you could add a little bit of coconut cream to the rice just as it's finishing cooking. And then we're just going to ladle in some of this beautiful curry. Plenty of sauce. Now if I was going to be freezing this dish, I would freeze it before the green beans go in there. Potatoes and the onions will be beautiful in the freezer, but the green beans I would leave out and just add them at the last minute. We're going to garnish that with a little bit of sliced spring onion and a few coriander leaves. And there we have Thai curry of Massaman with beef and jasmine rice. Enjoy.